Altcoin season, it's what everyone wants, and yet no one has received just yet. The blessing that will make people millions, billions of dollars over the course of 3 days. That's usually how it goes ahead and happens. I want to go ahead and just say here, we're getting close to Q4 of 2025, and XRP altcoins are set up for a big move. This is my prediction, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I've been covering a lot of HBAR XRP, these big ISO 20022 cryptocurrencies, because I think we're about to get a big run on them. And I'm going to be talking about that in this video. I'm going to be telling you the no BS take on why the heck I think this is happening, as someone that's been in the space for a lot of years and has a lot of money in the capital markets. So let's get into it. Now, XRP is at $3.10. And very clearly, this thing is held strong. It's held very, very strong. There's only one reason why this crypto would hold as strong as it has. And this is because institutions are buying. That's the number one reason why XRP is held as strong as it has. As far as I understand, retail hasn't really shown up en masse. We have not seen the level of views, traction that we saw. We haven't seen the volume on many of these more speculative assets like NFTs that we saw back in 2021, despite the market hitting crazy numerical values. XRP is one of those cryptos that has overperformed and will likely continue to do that for the rest of the cycle and beyond, more than likely. I mean, XRP right now is a clear institutional play. A lot of the market is gearing into institutions. So what the heck is going to lead to this massive run, and what happened today? So we had politics. I have to talk about the politics. I know people don't want to talk about politics, but politics are an important part of crypto. They impact the financial markets globally. All we got was a big nothing burger, so I won't waste your time and read this entire announcement just to farm another minute out of your life. I'm just going to tell you it's a big nothing burger. We don't have any concrete details on what is going to happen here between Russia, Ukraine, Trump. This has been just a recurring thing over and over and over. You know, I'm a trader. This is not a political channel. I'm not going to be like, I love Trump or I hate Trump. I do not really care until it impacts my crypto coins, because that is exactly what this channel is about. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Other than that, I want to give some context after. I'll give you the context after I put this video up. But this is Tom Lee. Tom Lee, famous investor. He is doing some big moves in the crypto space, and he said this a bit ago. So this is not fresh news, but it'll make a lot of sense after I play it and I tell you what happened next, because we did actually get some really big altcoin news from the man, the myth himself. So let's go ahead and listen to him.
Bitcoin has now become accepted enough that it's part of people's steady buying. I think there's plenty of now traditional finance investors stacking Bitcoin, and they're buying it every month. And I think that's why it's holding steady here. And to me, you know, for Bitcoin really to make its next quantum move, I do think it's dependent on global liquidity. And so the Fed, as you know, is on hold. But if their next move is to hike, then the entire stock market really is going to have to fight through that. It won't necessarily decline, but it has to fight that. And the Fed argument there would be, well, the economy is so healthy, I should be raising rates. But the reality is, at this point in the cycle, the Fed should be easing. It's a question of when. And if they begin easing in the fall, then I think that's going to coincide with Bitcoin making a step function higher. And I still think 200 to 250,000 is possible.
Now, I think he's a much better investor than I am. I think we can all agree he has a hell of a lot of money, and he has clearly made it in the space. He is someone that is saying that what we were looking for was liquidity, global liquidity, to go ahead and come to the markets. This is exactly what we're getting. Interest rate cut likelihoods are higher than ever. They're almost guaranteed. In fact, triple rate cuts are in the ballpark. Like this is definitely a possibility over the next 12 months. We might see many interest rate cuts. We don't know how many exactly. Some people are even predicting 50 basis point cuts. But here he was talking about, you know, if the markets start to turn dovish, this is going to be absolutely huge for the markets. If they're hawkish, then we're going to have to fight crypto. We got news from him himself, the legend himself. They bought $470 million worth of Ethereum today. $470 million, boosting their holders to 1.3 million Ethereum. They hold 1% of the entire circulating supply of Ethereum. That is insane. That is an insane amount of Ethereum. This is a coin that right now is worth $534 billion. And you are telling me there are still people out there that do not think billions of dollars will flow into altcoins. It is the most absurd take I've ever heard. In quarter four, and let's piece this all together. Tom Lee, famous investor, talking about, Bitcoin is holding where it's holding because institutions are investing and they're flowing capital in. Ethereum, same thing's happening here. He's putting his money where his mouth is. He's buying Ethereum, tons of Ethereum. What comes next? What is lower down the list and clearly is still undervalued? XRP. I mean, it's XRP. XRP is number 3. If you needed the answer, it's XRP, and it's not even close. Number 5 is BNB, and trust me, U.S. companies will not be making ETFs on BNB anytime soon. So it's either XRP or it's Solana, and it's looking like it's going to be XRP. Institutions are aping into these cryptocurrencies because they are front-running the announcements that people will be making XRP treasury companies, that people will be making more Ethereum treasury companies and buying billions of dollars worth of this stuff. A lot of the supply for crypto is going to go from retail to the institutions. And it's because people keep messing this stuff up. They keep throwing generational wealth away because they cannot wait. They cannot wait for what is the most obvious altcoin season signal I've ever seen in my entire life. Ethereum is the breeder of all altcoins. Ethereum will lead to an altcoin season. If Ethereum breaks out, which it will break out because of how much institutional money is flowing into it. I mean, Ethereum's at $4,400. It was at $4,700, like 2 days ago or something like that? It's absolutely insane, the momentum that is currently being carried in the crypto space. So I just feel so bad for the people that have been sidelined or have sold their crypto because they're scared. I will be the first one to say that I'm not going to hold my XRP to $10,000, nor do I think the average person should be. I will say is you get your multiples, you take your initial investments out and you ride your investments, you're going to have a pretty good time. You're going to have a pretty damn good time this bull cycle because people like him are going to start buying your bags. And we want to sell our bags to people like him because he's got unlimited money to go ahead and pump into a chart. You don't have unlimited money. You have to pay rent and everything in between. So very important. And other institutional people that seem to be talking about altcoin season. Coinbase is now talking about an altcoin season. As September approaches, the transition to a full-scale altcoin season is likely. Wow, likely. Our positive third quarter 25 outlook stems from macro trends such as potential Fed rate cuts, and expected regulatory advancements. So exactly what I was talking about here. Open interest has spiked, so there is a lot more open interest, which leverage, we all know how bull markets end, but we will take advantage of the leverage for now. Liquidity is returning after a 6-month decline, and if you do not believe that, check this chart out. This is the altcoin season index. We had, pretty big run here, and then it went down. It was boring for a while. We all know about that. Meme season happened. Boom, every altcoin went parabolic, and then it died out again. It was boring and boring and boring, and check this chart out. It is skimming the line between a breakout into altcoin season, skimming that line. I mean, it's very 50-50 right now, whether or not it's Bitcoin season or altcoin season. But given what Ethereum has done, I think altcoin season is significantly more likely. And look at how beautiful of a range we currently are making right now on the altcoin season index. It is just so close, so close. Altcoin market cap has been going ahead and trending upward as well, which is exactly what we want to see. It just hasn't been happening. I mean, altcoins have been struggling for the longest time, but they're finally breaking out against Bitcoin. Exactly what you want to see for a big XRP run. Everything, all of the cards are coming in. And before, there's a reason that on this channel, I only make bullish videos. I only make them because, while, I think people do need to employ common sense and take profits. That's an important part of everything. There is just not enough money in crypto, not enough saturation in the crypto markets for me to say or feel like there is a top. I covered XRP when this thing was at 30 cents. Just to give you some context, 30 cents. It is up 1,000%. It's up 10x since that. I'm up a lot on my XRP. XRP has outperformed the markets by a hell of a margin. And I've taken a very small amount of profit on my XRP. You know, my initials are out. I'm happy whatever happens. Obviously, I'm very bullish on XRP. And I think XRP is going to continue to go up because I think altcoins are going to go up. And, you know, the ones that have outperformed the market will likely continue to outperform the market for the rest of the cycle. That's my grand thesis. Innovations coming to the US. You know, there's volume coming from all ends. If you sell right now, after the multi-month range that has been happening here, look at this. Look at this beautiful run on XRP into a breakout into new highs, ranging. I mean, this is the most beautiful chart in crypto. I think you should just sell all your crypto. If you're getting out of here right now, just get out. Because when this thing runs to $5, $6, $7, and you understand altcoin season's really here, you could be the one that could be buying up my bags when I'm selling them when it's that high. So whether or not you want to be here or not, institutions will be buying our bags, and these cryptos will be sending. Altcoin season is going to happen in a different way. It's not like every altcoin is going to run 1,000x. The biggest altcoins will be the ones to run, and XRP is going to be one of them. So that's this video. I hope this helps. Provide some faith. Stay classy, subscribe, and that's all.